The world of sports is a testament to human potential, a global stage where strength, skill, and determination collide. At its core, sports thrive on the principle of fair play, ensuring that every athlete has an equal opportunity to succeed. However, the landscape of women's sports faces a critical challenge: preserving fairness in the context of transgender inclusion. The Fair Play for Women campaign stands at the forefront of this issue, advocating for the rights of female athletes and striving to maintain a level playing field for all. The campaign emphasizes that inherent differences, particularly those that emerge during puberty, have a direct impact on athletic performance. Ignoring these differences risks undermining the integrity of women's sports and jeopardizing the hard-won achievements of female athletes worldwide.
Fair Play for Women champions a future where sports remain a powerful force for female empowerment, a realm where women and girls can compete on equal footing and strive for athletic excellence. The debate surrounding transgender inclusion in women's sports often centers around the question of biological advantage.
The Fair Play for Women campaign grounds its stance in the well-established body of research that highlights the distinct physiological differences between males and females. From the onset of puberty, a cascade of hormonal changes takes place within the male body, leading to a surge in testosterone production.
This surge, coupled with genetic factors, results in a number of physiological adaptations that confer a significant advantage in athletic endeavors.
While hormone therapy can mitigate some of these differences in transgender women, the inherent advantages gained during male puberty are not fully erased. Studies have consistently shown that even after undergoing hormone therapy, transgender women retain a significant portion of their male-acquired muscle mass and bone structure.
The existing body of research provides compelling evidence that biological sex plays a crucial role in shaping athletic potential. The concept of fair play is deeply ingrained in the spirit of sportsmanship.
The Fair Play for Women campaign argues that maintaining separate categories for male and female athletes is paramount to upholding this fundamental principle. Historically, the segregation of sports by sex has not been a matter of social construct, but rather a recognition of the inherent biological differences between males and females.
These separate categories were established to create a space where women could compete against other women on an equal footing.
On the contrary, these categories provide a platform for women to showcase their talent and dedication without being overshadowed by the inherent biological advantages possessed by males. The Fair Play for Women campaign believes that maintaining separate categories is not about excluding transgender individuals, but about preserving the integrity of women's sports.
The campaign advocates for a nuanced approach that balances the rights of transgender athletes with the need to protect the hard-won progress of female athletes.
The inclusion of transgender individuals in society, including the realm of sports, is a matter of paramount importance.
However, when it comes to competitive sports, the campaign urges a cautious and evidence-based approach to transgender inclusion, particularly in the context of transgender women competing in women's categories.
Allowing transgender women who have experienced male puberty and retain certain biological advantages to compete in women's categories without careful consideration raises concerns about the potential for an uneven playing field. Fair Play for Women acknowledges that there are no easy answers or one-size-fits-all solutions to this complex issue.
The campaign advocates for ongoing research, open dialogue, and the development of comprehensive guidelines that consider the scientific evidence, the rights of all athletes, and the long-term health of women's sports. The campaign believes that by approaching this issue with sensitivity, empathy, and a commitment to finding solutions that work for everyone, we can create a future where sports remain a welcoming and inclusive space for all. Section 5. Real Stories, Real Impact, Athletes Speak Out.
The Fair Play for Women campaign amplifies the voices of these athletes, many of whom have expressed concerns about the potential impact of unfair competition on their careers and aspirations.
Countless female athletes have dedicated their lives to their respective sports, enduring grueling training regimens and making countless sacrifices in pursuit of excellence.
These athletes are not motivated by prejudice or discrimination, but by a deep respect for their sports and a desire to compete on a level playing field. Their stories highlight the human impact of this complex issue and underscore the need for policies that protect the integrity of women's sports while ensuring a fair and inclusive environment for all.
Section 6. Laurel Hubbard, a case study in fairness and inclusion.
Hubbard, who transitioned to female in her 30s, made history by becoming the first openly transgender athlete to compete in the Olympic Games, sparking both celebration and controversy.
While Hubbard's participation was lauded by some as a victory for transgender rights and inclusion, others expressed concerns about the fairness of her competing in the women's category.
Despite undergoing hormone therapy, Hubbard retained significant physical advantages gained during male puberty, including greater muscle mass and bone density.
The Hubbard case illustrates the complexities of navigating transgender inclusion in a way that respects the rights of all athletes while preserving the integrity of women's sports. Section 7. The domino effect, potential consequences for women's sports.
The campaign highlights several potential ramifications that warrant serious consideration. One concern is the potential for a decline in female participation in sports.
If young girls and women perceive that they are competing on an uneven playing field, they may become discouraged, leading to a decrease in participation rates and a loss of opportunities for female athletes.
Another concern is the potential erosion of funding and support for women's sports.
The Fair Play for Women campaign believes that by addressing this issue proactively and thoughtfully, we can mitigate these potential consequences and ensure that women's sports continue to thrive and inspire for generations to come. Section 8. Fair Play for Women, Goals and Objectives.
The Fair Play for Women campaign is driven by a clear set of goals and objectives aimed at ensuring fairness and preserving the integrity of women's sports. The campaign's primary focus is to advocate for policies that protect the rights of female athletes to compete on a level playing field, free from unfair biological advantages.
To achieve this goal, Fair Play for Women engages in a variety of activities, including
raising awareness. The campaign actively educates the public, policymakers, and sporting bodies about the scientific evidence surrounding sex differences in sports and the potential impact of transgender inclusion on female athletes.
Fair Play for Women believes that by working collaboratively and engaging in evidence-based decision-making, we can create a future where sports remain a fair and inclusive space for all. Section 9. Evidence-based policy, the cornerstone of fairness.
The Fair Play for Women campaign firmly believes that any policies regarding transgender inclusion in women's sports must be grounded in sound scientific evidence and driven by a commitment to fairness for all athletes. The campaign advocates for a rigorous and transparent approach to policy development, ensuring that decisions are based on the best available data and research.
This commitment to evidence-based policymaking includes
consulting with experts. Fair Play for Women emphasizes the importance of seeking input from a diverse range of experts, including scientists, medical professionals, coaches, athletes, and ethicists.
By embracing an evidence-based approach to policymaking, we can create a framework for transgender inclusion that respects the rights of all athletes while preserving the integrity of women's sports. Section 10. A call to action, supporting Fair Play for Women.
The campaign encourages individuals who share this vision to get involved and lend their support in a variety of ways. The Fair Play for Women campaign believes that everyone has a role to play in ensuring fairness and preserving the integrity of women's sports.
Educate yourself. Take the time to learn about the scientific evidence surrounding sex differences in sports and the potential impact of transgender inclusion on female athletes.
Start a conversation. Engage in respectful and informed discussions about this complex issue with your friends, family, colleagues, and community members.
By working together and raising our voices in unison, we can ensure that women's sports remain a fair and competitive arena where female athletes can achieve their full potential. Section 11. Ensuring a bright future for women in sports.
The fair play. For Women campaign envisions a future where women's sports continue to flourish. A future where female athletes are celebrated for their skill, dedication, and achievements. The campaign believes that by addressing the complexities of transgender inclusion in a thoughtful and evidence-based manner, we can create a sporting landscape that is both fair and inclusive.
The campaign's vision for the future of women's sports includes
Equal opportunities for all. A sporting landscape where all athletes, regardless of gender identity, have the opportunity to participate and compete at a level that is appropriate for their abilities.
a level playing field, competition that is fair and meaningful, ensuring that victory is earned through skill, dedication, and a level playing field, free from unfair biological advantages. The Fair Play for Women campaign is committed to making this vision a reality, ensuring that the legacy of female athleticism continues to shine brightly for generations to come.